Welcome back to the show. It is Monday, March 22nd, 2021. Thank you for being here. We had a good episode. We talked about radio DJs that talk too much, New Yorkers coming down to Florida, a couple things on TV, Narcos, and that new documentary, The Last Blockbuster. And so, yeah, all that and more. You are now in the hall.
You want to smoke something?
You've seen him perform all over LA. Give it up for Sean Madden, everybody.
What have we got here? A fucking comedian.
This joke's not going to go well. Gotta let it fly.
Yo, what up? It's your boy DJ Talks Too Much, aka DJ Please Shut the Fuck Up. And if you in traffic right now, don't worry, I got you. Keep it locked. New heat on the way. You guys remember that guy? It was always the DJ in charge. I don't know if anyone listens to the radio anymore, but it was always the guy. I think he had like the 5 to 7 shift, like rush hour traffic, and his whole job was just to keep you hyped. But he would always drop a new song because that's when everyone's in their car, you know, listening to the radio. And he'd be like, oh, I got that new song for you. And then he would just proceed to do shout outs and just yell over the entire new single of whoever put it out. He'd be like, yo, Samantha, we got your tickets. Don't forget, ladies drink free till 11. Happy birthday, Tammy. You're like, I don't know any of these people. Can you just play the song, sir? It was always about keeping it locked. Keep it locked. We got a Geico commercial coming up. Keep it locked. Keep it locked. Don't go anywhere. He's like, yo, I got you. You're in traffic right now. Don't worry. I got you. Like, all right, bud. Can you just play the song, guy? Please. It's good to be here, man. It's what? It's like, I think it's midnight again here on Monday. Just came from a show downtown. Saw everyone has these bird scooters. They're in Orlando now. I saw them in LA. That's when I first got introduced to these things. If you don't know, you can like scan your credit card into your phone and then unlock a scooter and then just park it wherever. You know, if you live under a rock, that's what a bird scooter is. So this lady, she's like, I think we should go to the right side of the street. She's like following her boyfriend. She hits the part of the sidewalk where it's just a little uneven and she goes flying over the handlebars. And it happened like right in front of me. But the thing is, it's hard for me to help somebody up that crashes on a bird scooter. You know, if you crash on a moped, or you have to crash on something with a license plate for me to give a shit. You know, if you crash a bird scooter, you know, I'm just going to laugh because you just paid money to fuck yourself up. You know, it's the best. Then you're going to go park it and take a picture of it to let the AI system know that you left it somewhere. But anyway, I hope you guys had a good weekend. I had a good one, man. Friday I went down. My dad turned 60, which is wild, and had a, you know, birthday lunch with him down at this Italian spot. Did a 6 hours round trip driving across Florida to have lunch, but I was grateful to do it, man. I couldn't really get any like family time in out in New York or LA just because, you know, come the holiday season, the ticket price is like $600. So I'm like, well, I'll see you next year kind of thing. So I'm grateful to be able to spend time with them. But man, part of the reason why it took 6 hours just to go anywhere, because all these damn New Jersey, New York plates, everyone coming down here. It's funny, everyone hates Florida until they realize that it's like the freest state in America. You know, they're like, oh, people from Florida are dirty and filthy. And it's like, okay, why are you here doing 50 miles an hour in the left lane? That is unacceptable. The left lane in Florida is the Autobahn. Okay, there's no speed limit. If you were doing 50, get your ass out of here. This isn't the Southern State Parkway. All right? We got fucking pills to sell down here. Can you move? Dude, it's just unbelievable. You can tell who it is too. They're like on Waze trying to find a fucking, where's a good bagel place? Where can I find a bagel? Or it's like a 90-year-old lady. She's damn near a piece of dust. Can't even see over the steering wheel. You know, she's looking through the steering wheel right over the speedometer to see the road with those thick, you know, those glasses. They're like they're sunglasses, but they also have like the side part, so they look like they basically these old people wear these sunglasses that look like they're wearing a VR headset. And you're like, oh boy. Whenever I see that behind the wheel, I immediately get as far away. I distance myself as far as possible from anyone with the Oculus Rift. I just left the eye doctor glasses. Yeah, dude. So that was that. And yeah, had a fun time there. And yeah, dude. But if you're in Florida, man, coming down and visiting, just stay out of the left lane. All right. I'm so sick. When I was in New York, they were like, Florida, people in Florida are bad drivers. I go, that's you guys. That's you. Wait until your hair turns white and then buying a house or a condo down here in Florida, coming down here and driving all slow. You know, the speed limit is 70. I get it, but not in the left lane. Do that in the right lane or the middle lane. All right. Because then you create problems. It becomes Tetris. Everyone's trying to pass on the right. And then it just becomes LA. LA is a fucking nightmare because there's no rules. They have the biggest highways. I think it was like 5-6 lanes. Sometimes they even had the carpool lane. So if you had 2 or more people in the car, you can use that one. But it would be jam-packed because there's no ethics. There's no like left lane, fast lane. It's just people would pass you doing 100 in an exit lane just so they can try to get over. Yeah, man, that's what's new with me. Blew through Narcos Mexico in like one day. Knocked it out with Nance. Finally got to watch that. I watched the first Narcos with Pablo, but it's cool to see the Mexico one, especially because I think they had like a location scout who got killed going to, like, the location scouts in movies. They're in charge of like, oh, we should film the scene here in this bar, or, you know, this area with these mountains. There's a cool tree here. Let's shoot over here. You know, apparently that guy actually got killed by the cartel. I wonder if I could pull it up. But yeah, dude, that you have to watch it at that point. I think they were gonna cancel the whole season, but then someone had that, you know, we can't let so and so die in vain. We gotta keep shooting it. Basically, they were saying that we already bought all the camera equipment. Yeah, let me see. I'll have a producer one day that can like pull stuff up faster, I'm sure. If you guys leave more reviews. I know there's more than 10 people listening, and I only have 10 reviews, so take this time to click 5 stars or 4, whatever. Who leaves 4-star reviews? It's either 1 or 5 usually, right? And there's someone who puts the 3. Usually it's like on Yelp. Well, the biscuits were good, but the service was slow. It's like, why do you even bother writing that? Narcos Mexico season. I don't even know what to put. Killed. Oh, here we go. Narcos location scout shot dead in central Mexico. The bullet-riddled body of Carlos Muniz, 37, was found in his car in a rural area in the town of Temascalapa in Mexico State, one of the country's most violent. Mexican officials were reportedly having difficulties investigating the case given the lack of witnesses. Netflix said the facts surrounding his death were still unknown. Well, Netflix, I think you know how he died. How he was killed was unknown. You just said his body was riddled with bullets. But anyway, man, RIP to that guy. But it was sick, dude. It was a good season. We were watching it. The guy, if you haven't seen it yet, this guy Felix, he's like the head of the Mexican. He was like at one time the leader of like the Mexican cartel, and they were just playing pool in their house. And they have like the most beautiful mansions, of course. What else are you gonna do with that money? But yeah, this guy was playing pool, and he's like, we got to get the CIA off our backs. He's like, let's give him 10 million. Last time we gave him 2. And I'm like telling Nance, I'm like, this is actually kind of, it's kind of admirable, someone that climbs that high, gets on the radar of the CIA, and then you're talking about bribing them over a game of billiards. I'm like, that's pretty fucking cool. She's like, that guy's a monster. I go, I know he's killed a lot of people. I know he's murdering everybody, but it is kind of cool, that he's, how do I explain this? How many documentaries about Hitler do they have? Obviously, it's interesting. That's all I'm saying. I'm like, wow, this guy's talking about, dude, the police like kicked in this dude's door. And he's like, there's 5 million in a safe upstairs. Fuck off. It's got to be a pretty interesting lifestyle for the police to just raid your house. And you're like, oh, come on. You know the captain by name. You're like, come on, fucking Sanchez. You're like, here's 250 grand. Get out of here. I'm swimming laps in the pool. So corrupt, dude. Not the United States is any less corrupt, but it's pretty fucking awesome. Just to be at that grand of a scale. But we do have some news, man, out of Ontario, California. There was a fireworks explosion. See if we can pull it up here. This is massive, dude. It's like it looks like a volcano just went off. That's what you're hearing. All the different fireworks. Big volcano looking plume of smoke, and then all the little whistling Dixies and black cats are just popping off. A plane flew right through it. A plane just flew right over it. Had to have been Southwest. Those pilots don't give a shit, dude. A Southwest pilot will just... I don't know if anyone flies Southwest, but the landing sometimes I've landed on Southwest flights and people have looked at each other like, yo, did we just crash and drift? What happened? If the pilot doesn't come on and say like, hey, thank you for flying with us, then he knows he fucked up. Sometimes they won't even come out of the cockpit to be like, hey, they won't wave to any babies. But yeah, dude, big fire, man. Apparently, 2 people inside the house were killed.
It felt like the fireworks.
Oh, dude, this is the best. They interview this guy. So this guy had a ton of fireworks in his house. And apparently a small fire went off and it just set them all off, as usual. And dude, the neighborhood exploded. I mean, the neighbors' homes have like, there's fences knocked over. Like it was basically like a factory. This guy was just hoarding fireworks. And then I'm glad I actually watched the full video because at the end they interview this guy, and they usually interview someone. It's always like, it's never, I don't know, people that are always around the scene of crimes when they interview them, they're always like the worst person to interview. And this guy has a lisp, and of course the hardest word they gave him. Here, I'll just play it.
It felt like the fireworks were like coming towards us. It was like, I don't know, like it feels like a movie, like 3D. It felt like that.
His girlfriend was standing there like, oh, when the news reporter was probably like, hey, did you see the firework explosion? And he's like, the firework? Yeah, I saw the firework. It was like a 3D movie. They were like coming right at me.
It felt like the fireworks were like coming towards us. It was like,
his girlfriend was nodding her head like, oh, thank God. Thank God he got through it. But damn, this guy had his time to shine. And they had to interview him about the hardest word for anyone with a list to spell.
Like it feels like a movie, like 3D. It felt like the fireworks, actually fireworks, were like coming.
Sorry, I don't have to play that again, but I did for my sake. In other news, we have a Florida man getting wild at a Walmart. Florida man exposes himself to Walmart shoppers while riding scooter inside store. An elderly Florida man is accused of exposing his genitals to horrified Walmart shoppers while riding a motorized scooter inside the store. Now, I don't know about you, but when I go to Walmart, I just assume I'm going to see genitals. All right? It just, it gets fucking wild down there, especially in a Florida Walmart. So an 80-year-old guy, Hoyt Neely, that's such a good name for a guy that's going to be flashing his testes at the Walmart. Hoyt Neely, with a hole in the crotch area of his pants, according to police. The subject would pull his sexual organ through that hole, fondling and exposing it to victims. Oh, yeah. It said that he matched the guy that performed these acts earlier. We would like to remind the public to always be aware of your surroundings everywhere you go, even in our small community, police said. Yeah, be aware of your surroundings. I don't know. This guy just, dude, if you're 80 and you ain't got anything else to do, why not pull your nuts out at a Walmart? Yeah, that's all they had on that. But anyway, dude. Yeah, Narcos, man. It's really that I really was just watching towards the end just because of the sunglasses, man. They have like the freshest shades. I think that's what really makes it cool is the sunglasses. You're like, damn, those are some cool frames. You're like, I know he just shot a whole village up, but nice frames. I think that's what it is, dude. I think it's like those warlords in Africa with like the, their whole army is child soldiers. But you're like, when he steps out of the Jeep with the Versace shades, you're like, hey, guy's kind of swagged out. I mean, what can I say? It's like, yeah, I know he's a monster, but he's also fresh. At least he has style. Everyone gets mad at ISIS, but it's like, at least they have a cause. At least they're chasing something. They're not just ordering Uber Eats, watching fucking Love on the Spectrum. Also watched The Last Blockbuster. You guys seen this? This is also on, I don't know if it's on Netflix. It was on something. But yeah, it was like, apparently there's one Blockbuster left in Bend, Oregon. It's just this woman. She's like, it's exactly who you think it would be. She's like, yeah, I'm the Blockbuster mom. I stored all the videos. And they were just interviewing like random people. They had one guy was way too into it. He was like talking about Blockbuster like it was the greatest thing that's ever happened to his life. He was like, yeah, Blockbuster was cool. He goes, you could smell the movies, you could touch the movies, you could lick the movie. I'm like, who is this guy? Like, this dude was in the Blockbuster for all the wrong reasons. He's like, I like to talk to people in the Blockbuster and ask them what they can rent. It's like a community in there. I'm like, no, I think the only time you interact with people is at Blockbuster. And then Jamie Kennedy was in it for some reason. He just pops out like, yeah, what up? And I like Jamie. But I'm like, dude, why? It was just such like a random movie. But yeah, you forget about stuff like that. I think I still have all the somewhere. Maybe they're at my mom's house. But I feel like I have like some video shop down the street when I was a kid. I think I had a video, like some of the PlayStation 1 games that I just never returned. Still got the stickers on them and everything. But yeah, man, hope everything's well with you guys. Appreciate you listening. Sorry, I got to do these earlier, man. Just kind of trail off here. I do keep getting, if you guys know, the first like 3 episodes I did was at the extended stay. After I left LA, I was just kind of like bouncing around hotels, Airbnbs. And I ended up staying at the extended stay, I think because they had the kitchen and it was like $1,500 for like 20 days or something. It was like the best deal that I was going to get. yeah, I keep getting emails from them because I stayed there a few times, and they're sending me like recipes. That's like their angle, their marketing. They're like, hey, come cook in our kitchens, and here's some recipes for you. Thai chili spaghetti. And I'm just like, can you stop telling people what to cook? It's like the whole reason why your hotel sucks is because it smells like fucking Chef Boyardee. All right, now you're sending me emails like, hey, look what you can cook in your room to make it smell like this. I'm like, good. Now I know what my room smells like. I thought it just smelled like domestic violence, but it also, that is bass nuggets or whatever the hell recipe you're sending me, dude. It is unbelievable. But yeah, I think we'll leave it right there, man. Don't forget, hit that like button, that subscribe button. Sean Madden Comedy on Instagram. Got some funny stuff in the works with Joe Sensabella, Jake Rika. You guys, I did their show. Go check them out. Cup of Jokes podcast. And they've been on my show. I forget. It's like an earlier episode. But yeah, that was a good one if you haven't heard that. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time, man. Appreciate it.